afternoon views. You're listening to the Friday Frothy. What a fantastic show.
Everyone, welcome to the Friday Frothy here on a Friday night in the Frothy Bar. I've got a couple of special guests tonight, and this is my mate Glennie. How are you, mate?
It's good looking roosters on again tonight. Yeah, good mate, Jeff. Very good, and we've got the big guest here.
Who is it?
Robbie Thompson.
Hey, what is he?
He is
Fettuccine.
part of the look.
He's a rugby league.
He's a rugby league
consultant.
Yeah,
This is
Guru.
Correspondent.
He drives cruise ships in his spare time.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Just for kicks.
before we do start tonight, I just want to say I do have to apologise because we've got the lovely Razor and the fettuccine come down to Hobart, and we've been at the Cascade Brewery, the oldest brewery in Australia, ladies and gentlemen.
Not just a few.
So congratulations.
Oldest,
to that.
and we've had a couple of beers
1863.
there. Well, 1827.
Where'd you get 1863
I don't
from?
know, I just pulled it straight
No,
out.
not
I'm
even
wrong.
Anyway,
Oh,
we are in for a
It was
fantastic
worth it.
show
It was
tonight.
worth it,
Is this
mate.
working? Because I've got nothing happening
Yeah,
here. A fantastic show. We're going to talk to...
I hope so.
What are we going to talk about?
It says streaming.
We have got so much to talk about. We've got rugby league, we've got the grand final, we've got some boxing, we've got Razor Ray to talk about FIFA, we've got Rob to talk about the NRL grand final, we've got the cricket consultant, Philly King. He's dialing in to talk about the Australians playing the One Day Cup, which is dodgy.
We've got a little bit of boxing. We've got everything, mate. We've got car racing. What else is there? So, guest
Darts. Darts
We
is a
got
good
darts.
one.
Yeah, we got
we'll
darts.
always have a good
Razor
chat
and
about
Rob
darts.
love it. Juanita, thanks for joining us, Juanita.
How are you,
Awesome.
Juanita?
She
Over
is
there in WA.
absolute champion. Just bear with me for a second while I try and sort
Talk
this
to Juanita
out.
about a tray from Hawthorn over to West Coast. Are you West Coast?
So, guys, we've got it's coming on very shortly. Is Philly? Right, he's in Launceston.
He's in Launceston. He's our cricket guru.
He is, and he's going to talk to us about the ins and outs of cricket and why we're doing so crap. To be honest with you,
Did you get a phone call?
no, did you
I've been called a few times. I've had a few missed calls about playing.
really?
I don't know about batting or bowling, but I'll give it a crack.
You've got to watch your contract too, mate, out of football season still with the Latrobe.
Well, do people
demons.
do people know that?
The
So I
demons.
don't know. We're swinging into cricket season now. Perhaps Latrobe might swing you back there because.
I can't do any worse. Dave Warner, I mean...
No.
Who?
Well, we
Who?
watched them last night, mate. They were a disgrace against South Africa last night. Absolute disgrace. I started watching it,
Time to go.
and I had to be up at about 4:30 and that. Well, I'm glad I didn't start at 4:30 to watch them. That's all I can say.
10 to 5.
I'm sorry, guys.
It was but I was awake at 4 o'clock. I was
I
awake.
am really struggling to get this to work. So
What are you doing?
I'm just trying to get it so I can see.
You don't
this
do
all
anything,
pretty well.
Jeff.
Look, luckily it's not an IT show, because
We're live, are we?
I said we wouldn't be
Jeff,
jumping on
fail.
Google
Oh, we're live.
for any
I'm
tech
sorry.
advice.
I'm
'Cause
sorry.
Glenn, what tech advice would you have if this was an IT show?
Get Jeff not to do it.
Get Jeff to fix it. Get Alison to go with it.
We were talking about your dial-up.
I mean, unless you've got a can and a bit of a line coming from one end to the other, mate, I'm in
Mate.
trouble.
I don't know if you're aware that things have moved on since cans.
Oh, cut it out. That has right.
Yeah, no.
Actually, mate, could you just pass me one of those cans?
Oh,
while we're thinking about
All right,
Thanks, mate.
welcome to the
Thank
show,
you very
everyone.
much.
Juanita, thanks for joining us, everyone. Hope you're
Thank you.
enjoying well. How about them race cars? Let's just have a quick talk about it, Juanita. I sat around and watched Bathurst on Sunday last week because it's my favourite day of the year. I've got to tell you, I think it was pretty boring. Not a lot happened.
No.
The Camaros were too fast for the Mustangs, and
Sally was no good.
Mustang Sally.
No.
And ended up being won by Shane Van Gisbergen and Richie Stanaway. The New Zealanders, Razor Ray loves that. She's a New Zealander.
Kiwis winning again.
Yeah, where did he
We've
go?
got to stop. We've got to do something about that.
Yeah, look.
Luckily, having a break, though, gone to NASCAR now, mate, isn't he?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
might get a little bit of reprieve for
well,
the
not
other
really, 'cause
drivers.
No,
Maybe
it's a dominance of Red Bull and Erebus at the moment, which is a real shame. But look, to be honest with you guys, from the talk going on, The Ford teams are talking about boycotting and pulling out if something doesn't happen with parity between the two cars. Because they're that. Okay. I mean, look, we'll use Toddy because he's a friend of ours, and the Frothy is up here behind me.
Yeah, their car struggled towards the end.
He struggled the whole time, and when Van Gisbergen passed him, he passed him like he was standing still.
And what got me is that when Van Gisbergen won, and he said, "Well, we had trouble all the way through." He said we had trouble until they raced. How does that work? Does that mean that all the demons in the car
He's
were...
a fox.
Well, he must be, mate. All the demons in the car were...
He talks it, doesn't he?
He does.
Well, he talks the talk, but he walks the walk, I suppose.
Oh, he's an amazing...
he's an amazing driver.
He's an amazing driver.
And the other guy, did you know much about him?
Richard Stanaway, yeah, he's a gun. He's been involved in motor racing for a while, from a young age.
That's what I picked up.
He got a ride, but he did no good, and he was just about on the outer. He was done.
Oh, he was on. He was done.
He was out.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realise.
And these guys gave him another chance, and he won Bathurst. So he's done extremely well.
Oh well, as he said, he'd like to. Well, I know Van Gisbergen's going. He said, "Well, I'd like to be doing this race for many years."
Well,
so good on him. He's probably.
I'm just saying, is Jeff doing the show, or is he just scrolling through his internet?
Well,
sometimes that's the show, isn't it?
It's just,
that's
I'm
the
actually
show,
trying,
isn't it?
I'm trying to listen,
no,
see if anyone's on, and if I can talk to them through here. So.
You're here. You're already on.
Yeah, but
Stupid.
I want to see if someone.
We know Juanita's on, like
stuff.
Well,
So.
Juanita.
That's a bit harsh, to be honest with you. Once again, I apologise because.
Put your phone down.
How do I start this?
What are you, 13?
it's like when you go to a shop. You ever been to a shop and like someone's on their phone? You're like,
Yeah.
No.
So, guys, if you're commenting on Facebook, I'm sorry, I can't see it because I've just been told to put my phone down. So, yeah, sorry about that, guys. But anyway,
I'll tell you.
ultimately, poor old Todd, he was doing not so well the whole race, and then his starter motor fell off. with
have you ever had that happen to your car?
Yeah, well,
I can't say I have.
No, it's an odd thing, isn't it?
No.
Starter motor fell off.
Well, the worry was the tyres,
That's
wasn't
terrible.
it, leading in?
It was.
Yeah, the tyres was the worry, and it was a worry still, a little bit, but anyway, I don't know. As you said, they've got a lot of homework there to do if this is going to work.
A lot of people talk about, wanting to
Go back to the old days.
watch the race.
XU1s,
Oh.
GT, 351s,
Thanks, Peter Brock.
heavy cars. Hey, guys,
Peter Brock.
stop mucking around.
Why don't we just get rid of fences
Anyway.
as well?
Yeah,
listen,
get
guys,
just making it
but-
boring.
Before Philly comes in, let's just go into out with it. Out with it. Out with it. Oh, you're not ready. You have a go at me.
Good
You know
good
what?
chat tonight.
Yeah.
Out with it. On your Kiwis. Are we right? Out with it.
Good. You're good.
Hey, what's going on then, Jeff?
Well, you guys have seen the World Cup's on cricket, and Philly's about to join us. Hopefully, he's going to dial in a minute.
Yep.
We'll ask him the same question. But my question to you guys is cricket dead? It's got a lack of TV presence, so people aren't following it as much as what they used to. And I remember sitting around with my whole family when the World Cup or a 50 over match was on, and we'd all sit there and watch bloody Bevan bat out the innings and get the win and all that sort of crap. We
had David Boone's keg on legs and
crowd
great
numbers.
Alan Border.
Crowd
and
numbers.
all
Dean
these
Jones.
great-
What about Dean
Dean
Jones?
Dean
Jones,
Jones,
he's a
what a
legend.
champion.
Legend.
God,
But so
first
crowd numbers
but
are down.
great
People aren't
cricket.
watching. What are your thoughts? Is it dead or not? We'll ask Philly when he comes
Are
on.
people not watching though, or is it just people aren't there?
Well,
Because-
I've got a theory. I know, I've got a theory. I've said it before.
Out with it,
but,
Glenn. Out with it. Out with it.
Cricket's saturated, mate. They're too much with the IPL, is it? IPL?
Yes.
I've got that right.
Yeah. And the,
So,
and the
so all
BBL,
the, I call it the pajama
Bash.
cricket,
Yeah, the Big
and,
Bash.
and look, I do like it
Yeah.
because it's not boring. It's quick. There's a bit of music going on and the razzle dazzle, and your 50 overs or 20 overs, whatever the games are, and I think it's killed off your Test cricket and all that. And the trouble is now all these players, they go to India.
Yep.
And they all know how they bowl. They all know how they bat. And and there's no surprises anymore. So when it gets down to Test cricket, where a side used to be, they know what they're going to get.
Yeah.
They know Boomerang, for instance, from India is going to bowl how he bowls.
Yeah.
But there's no surprises anymore. So these guys, they're getting paid a massive lot of money to play. Not like tennis players and these sort of things, but they're on good money.
It's not far off it.
It's probably not far off it, and I reckon
Millions.
it's
It's not on
saturated. And
Wasn't it?
No,
Why?
because when I hit, because it just hasn't happened.
do I keep talking? Or what?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You should stop talking right now.
So
That's it.
well,
It's
that's,
over tonight.
that's oh my God.
We'll keep you.
God, this is going to be a great show tonight, viewers. But
Yeah,
that's my theory, is that it's saturated. So TV rights and everything else, it's great for that. But the game the game on last night where Australia got done by South Africa.
Am I up too high?
That's it. Get down. Get on down.
Is that better?
Right?
Well, I just
Sure,
felt like I
you're
was
up.
up a million miles from you
saying in a
guys.
minute.
Now, Rob's the
So
big
anyway,
guy.
sorry, you were
Yeah, keep going.
waffling
Sorry,
and then
yes.
going.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's my theory behind it. But if anyone's got any other suggestions,
Juanita
what
said,
they reckon?
I think people are hating the politics of it all with the players. And she's probably right. You know what, Juanita? We used to have legends of the game. When I'll go Warney, I'll go, as you guys said, Dean Jones and the Chappells, and you followed them and you loved them. And whether they were good or they were bad, but they were players and they were united together.
Well, it was countries, wasn't it? But when you had like your Tony Griggs and that, all these guys that aren't around anymore, even the commentators, I hate to be old school, but they had a little bit of. There was something about Bill Lawry, wasn't there, with his pigeons? And there was things about Tony Grigg and the way he spoke, and Richie Beno, the way he acted, absolute legends. But is there any more of those personalities anymore?
You've got what?
What do you reckon?
Slater, Taylor.
And look where they are. Half of them are,
Chasing the money as well.
They're
really,
chasing the money.
yeah.
That's right. I don't mind old, I don't mind old Stumpy Taylor. I don't mind him, but
Stumpy.
oh, I call him
Tubby.
that. But Tubby,
Tubby.
Stumpy. Well, he's Stumpy too. He's Stumpy, Tubby Taylor.
They need to
But
bring back
I
a
don't
bit of
mind him.
excitement. I'll tell you what was exciting.
Yeah.
I was once the Hobart Hurricane.
What?
True story.
What, the actual...
You got my
the,
the dress-up
you haven't
person.
got-
2014
come on,
Big
sit
Bash
down here.
final. There was a mascot race and they actually needed someone.
Really?
And I was there and I was, preparing for the World Cup, which I worked for at the time. And they needed another person. I said, I'm in. And they said, you can be the Hobart Hurricane. I'm sorry to everyone in Tasmania, I did not win. I apologise.
Sorry, I just.
Unreservedly, as they say
How-
in the big
I mean-
statements.
I mean, you're in Tassie, but how hot was it in that costume?
Well, it was actually in Canberra. It was when the year when the
Oh,
final
it's
was
just
in
as cold
Canberra.
in Canberra as it
But
is here.
it was quite a warm evening in Canberra. It was.
Now, I'm the small one.
February?
I've come down
Yeah.
and you've gone
There
up.
you go.
Yeah, because
We've got chair issues here tonight, don't we?
I'm sick.
Well, we haven't. We've got height issues.
I wonder if the bar's sinking. And
No.
we're sinking with
Hey,
it.
no, I've just come down.
We got geography issues.
I've come down to your height. Guys, if you're watching on Facebook, it's probably not happening. Yeah, is that right?
They're not going to be watching on Facebook. It's only on YouTube.
Ah, well,
Yeah,
YouTube,
if you're on
Oh, that's
YouTube,
right.
you're a bloody legend. That's what I reckon.
Well,
So any rate, and old Quinton de Kock, mate.
Yeah.
Old Quinton.
yeah,
What was his last name, Jeff?
the cock.
Yeah.
109 of 106 balls last night, fellas.
He was
for the win.
terrific.
Australia went down in their second match of the World Cup.
He's
Yeah,
the
they're going to
wicket
have to turn
keeper.
it around, aren't they?
First to India, which is always a hard match, but then they've lost last night to South Africa.
What if we swapped
Got to be the favourites.
idea, and sometimes you need a left field idea.
Yes.
What if we swapped the Wallabies for the Australian cricket team?
Well, no.
we won't get-
I don't know.
We won't get any
we
Jones.
don't better?
They're as bad as each other, Rob.
Yeah, but I mean, could you get any worse? Because
No.
Wallabies are
Well, they've had it.
diabolical.
Eddie Jones, he's gone to Japan.
Hey,
Oh, hello.
hold on.
Phil
Hold
Kent,
on.
hey, we're right
man.
now.
Well, let's have a talk about
Let's
this.
have a talk about cricket. Here we go.
You're on the Friday Frothy. Who are we talking to?
Yes, I'm in between shouts, so make it snappy.
Turn it up. The Philly Kingston.
Hello, Phil. How you going, mate?
Well, good, Cleve. Yeah, it's a long time no see.
It is, mate. I've been up
It's
the
good to
Launceston.
see you. Yeah, well, I needed a couple of windows done, a bit of double glazing, and I've been looking for you, but I can't find you.
New Tech glass.
no,
New Tech
mate,
glass, mate.
It's called pensioners glazing now. It used to be New Tech. It's pensioners now.
Philly, turn your phone
You
down.
know, I've got an 1889 period home, and I need a bit of double glazed windows. The remuneration is a night's accommodation and a night out with me.
Okay.
And me.
Oh,
Well, we'll see what we can do.
dodgy.
Yeah.
Sounds sus.
Hey, Philly.
It's really
Hey,
sus.
have you got the show going in the background?
Say again, my friend.
Can you turn the show down in the background if you've got it on? Because we're getting a lot of feedback.
No, I'm just out in the street, mate. I'm just the sort of person who lives off my nerve and my wit. I dance on my feet. And I'm on the street.
That's great.
How good is that? How good is
Mate,
that?
I've just got.
And you're a
Just 2
poet, don't you
seconds, I've
know?
got- Excuse me, guys. I've got Jared Whaley and Crash Craddock. Crash, I'll see you at golf on Monday, and Jared, I'll talk to you on Monday morning on SEN. Sorry, got the guys from. I think it's a Friday Frothy down in Hobart.
What's-
Okay, mate. All clear now.
Watch Robbo, and then he's probably going to emergency, mate, if he's with you.
Now,
But,
Philly, I've just asked the question, and we're in Outwith at the moment, and I said, is cricket dead? People aren't seem to be watching it, and crowd numbers are down. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a good point. You know, like I'm a 62-year-old cricket tragic.
It's got me for 2
I'm a
years.
great
Well,
cricketer. My son played great cricket, first-class cricket.
For Tassie?
I love cricket. I'd rather be, if I could be at a cricket ground rather than doing anything else, watching cricket, that's where I'd be. So I guess if you're asking me the question, this World Cup is the one that I've least look forward to. I've been watching it like it's just like a T20.
Yep.
There's definitely something missing. It's sort of, the World Cup used to be something you look forward to, or sort of edge of your seat, but now it's almost buried in the that's my sort of gut feeling. It's buried in the non-stop, never-ending cricket. And if you look at the Cricket Australia app like I do every day, and it's just like a, I don't know, it's like a bingo scene, isn't it? It's
Mate,
just
like,
wall to wall, never ending.
Sorry, Jeff.
Like it's hard to get up for. What's the competition in cricket that makes you? I remember watching. Oh, look, it's a long time ago, but remember the World Cup when the West Indies played Australia? Like you wouldn't miss it. You wouldn't miss it now. After half an hour, you go to sleep.
No, Philly, I was just saying to the boys here, and say hello to Rob Fettuccini. He's with us
G'day,
tonight.
Phil. How you going?
He's our
good.
guru,
I-
our rugby guru,
He's
who
our
come
rugby.
down from the.
I agree entirely
Queensland.
with you, mate. It's lost a bit of its, and I've been using this word a bit lately. Zhuzh.
Zhuzh. Well-
It's just not.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, Philly, we just said that,
a
like,
bit bingo-ish.
I used to sit around and watch the World Cup and the 50-over matches with the whole family. And it just,
Yeah.
I mean, half the time it's not even on TV anymore, lads. You don't even get to see it,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
Well, it's buried among, like, if you got KO, and a lot of people, you've probably gone from Fox Sports and Foxtel to KO. Like, you get KO, there's just wall to wall cricket. You can watch the replays. I had a few days in Adelaide, and I went and watched I've got a bit of my heart in the Tasmanian Sheffield Shield team, so I went to Karen Rolton Oval, and, and even when you go to it, like a Shield game, it's sort of like you can't get up into the pavilion. If you go to the toilet, you've got to go past security guards. I wanted to watch an hour of the Shield game in Adelaide, and it was like I was an intruder. Like, it's
Why is that? That's bullshit. I'm sorry, Phil. That's
It's just
absolute
like-
bullshit. Isn't it? That's terrible.
That's our first class. That's our cricket nursery. That's like going to Bunnings and getting plants that you're going to grow in your garden and develop it. Like, it's,
Bit of weed.
I just didn't want to even be there. Like, and it's just, I don't know where we've lost our way, and there's biggest lost it. Look, I agree. It's lost its mojo, and it's up to people who are the custodians of the game or the people who played it to sort of get it back.
Yeah.
We spoke about it last year, Phil. Is it just become just such a money TV right? I suppose commercial sporting event, and that's what's killing the game. Because as we said, when Australia played England, everyone was excited about it. I enjoyed.
Oh, the test was great.
The test was great.
The Ashes.
But I mentioned to the boys just before you come on that the trouble is the IPL over there in India, all these guys, they play in all these sides. They know exactly how they bowl. They know exactly how they bat. Is it saturated? And there's so many games on, is it because there's so many games when we do get to a major event these days, you know, people are sick of watching it because it's on all the bloody time.
Yeah.
And even though you're a cricket tragic, which I enjoy the cricket, but we're getting too much of it.
Yeah, look, to answer your question, like, it's a silly sort of homogenistic comment, but all that, like, I agree with all that. And that's the reason when I'm watching Pat Cummins, and even the players look tired. They look as though,
they do.
you know what I mean? I'm looking like, do they want to be here? Do they want to be on the beach at Bondi? Or
That's right.
There's no
I agree.
spark. Or
Did you watch that game last night, mate? The South African one?
I was just interested in Michael Clark and Mark Taylor's comments, and they said it's like Australia just turned up waiting for the game to come to them, and it's not.
Yeah, it's not happening.
You know, when you're playing a World Cup and there's big money and there's prestige and there's like it's not a tournament that's going to land in your lap. You've got to. So it's interesting. So it's. I guess it's the dynamic of how Australian cricket's working from sort of from the pathway right through to the elite level, and then I guess what's the future for world cricket? How do we get it to become like, you know, like I must admit, and I'm talking back to the AFL footy this year. I saw some games here, and I went to see a couple of games as a mad Carlton supporter. That was sort of edge of your seat stuff. Like cricket's like after half an hour you want to go to sleep and go to bed. Like that's disappointing.
I put it on when I want to go to sleep.
Yeah. Hey,
Philly. I agree with you, mate. I do there. You won't get any arguments there. That's
harsh. Philly.
Sorry, it's just speaking the truth.
134 run loss last night to South Africa. 6 wickets we lost by, plus that amount. Can you see wholesale changes in the team, or do they keep going with what they've got?
Well, no, it looks a bit old, and I mean, to be honest, Cummings, Hazelwood, Stark, they're 32, 33, 34. Like they're near the end. But we're obviously going to be prepared to reward them as pretty loyal servants and top line players in the game. But we're at that point where, depending what the new era of the new generation, or what are we chasing in cricket? It's like, do we just got to win the Ashes? Do we got to win the World Cup? I mean, it's such a multi-configured sport. It's almost I don't know how Cricket Australia and I don't know how the organisation points are going forward. You know, it's such a different coaches, different structures, different. It's almost like different sports within a sport.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, 100%.
How's the local cricket going, Phil? How do you think it's going down here in Tassie, mate? You're up with it all. How's that all going?
I guess having a boy that played club cricket, and I always had a passionate interest in my club and travelling at Hobart, but living in Launceston, looking at there's sort of years when you see the club teams and the personnel and. You know, it looks not as strong this year. It sort of comes in a bit of waves where sometimes you've got more players that are coming to try and break into the Tasmanian side, and there's sort of competition, and it's hard to gauge. You sort of got to go along and have a look and see where it's going. And I mean, it's interesting, and just sort of deflecting back to that South African team. You know, all those guys. Then what's playing for South Africa? They're good players, but they're not interested in playing Test cricket anymore. They're interested in earning $2 or $3 million a year playing short form white ball cricket.
So this is what I mean. Is money like with footy? And as you said, when you start going to sleep, it's killing.
Yeah.
There's no
playing for dollars, not wins.
That's right. I mean, we all sit here passionate. You're obviously a one-eyed Carlton supporter if we're talking football. I'm Hawthorn. This guy's North Melbourne. This guy is.
I'm anti-AFL.
He's a rugby league man, which is fine. He grew up in New South Wales. He's a New South Wales boy.
Thanks for the endorsement there.
No, it's okay. He's a New South Wales boy. That's fine because you grow up and you go with what you learn as a kid. But at the end of the day, we used to play, mate, as you know, when you played at Sandy Bay, you played for your jumper or the team, and you played for the team. You didn't get paid. If you were really a good player, yes, you got paid probably a certain amount of money, and if you got to the top of the tree, you'd end up in the AFL, or VFL, as it was, and then AFL. But now, I noticed even the AFL, if we switch even straight over, they've upped the ante again. Now the women have gone from 42,000 to 84,000. The men are going from, I think the average player now we're talking about with this new thing in there, probably 500,000 for a young
It's about
guy
what it's about what I'm on.
coming in. So that's not bad money, but it still doesn't compete with what you're talking about here in cricket. Some of these guys are on phenomenal amounts to play in the IPL and these sort of events, which is bloody unbelievable, really.
It is.
Right. They're world events like the South African blokes. You're talking about the top 30 or 40 white ball specialists, T20 and 50. I mean the guys like Markham and I guess the guys like the Cock who finished playing Test cricket, which is such a loss because you look at the Test series here and the South African team came here, they could hardly compete with Australia, but yet you see the quality of the players playing in the ODI side and say, wow,
Yeah.
South Africa was a competitive animal in cricket. They just hated losing and they loved to play Australia and like it's. Yeah, there's no doubt the money. Look, whether you're a politician, a footballer, a cricketer, you can't tell me you're not looking at the end of the week at the month and your bank statement and saying,
Absolutely.
oh, hang on a minute, this is changing my lifestyle. Of course it does.
Right.
Let's be honest about it. Anyone who says it's not about the money is lying.
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate.
Well, I got a question for you.
Oh, here we go.
There we go, Robert.
I'm lucky enough to be married to a Kiwi. How do you reckon the Black Caps are going to go? Because they had a win, didn't they, of game one?
They're going okay.
Look, I work in the solar renewable energy business, and the guys are the owners of my business, are Kiwi guys.
Yep.
So I've got a really soft spot for them. However, I'm going to be really pointed here and suggest to you, when it comes to the world event, the Kiwis get the shakes when the money comes out. Look, as much as they punch above their weight, they're fantastic for world cricket. I'd love to see more Australia-New Zealand cricket. And I'm not saying they're the poor relation, but look, it'd be fantastic to see them win a World Cup because a city, what a country of 3 or 4 million people. Yeah. I mean, it'd be fantastic, and I think New Zealand are underestimated, they're undersold.
Rob, to shake it up.
Yeah, it does need it because I think Australia, South Africa, England, India.
Dominating.
Yeah.
Just it's just a circulating mess.
Yeah.
Really,
Pakistan
sometimes
as well.
Gets a bit boring, and I guess people get bored of it, don't they?
They're all good on their day.
Yeah.
What I will say is that for us, what is New Zealand? Probably 3 or 4 or 5 million for a country of that size to compete against, to continually be competitive. I mean, it's a fantastic effort. It says a lot for how their cricket program must be run.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%.
Well, we don't want to talk about Bazball, though, do we?
Bazball.
No, but it was interesting. That Test series was something like out of left field, wasn't it? It was really interesting, and it was interesting to see stuff.
It was, Philly. It got people watching Test cricket again and got them excited about cricket.
See, even that, it's interesting because Test cricket now, we are talking, so this is the new thing where we're sort of saying, well, okay, let's get a little bit more like the 50 over, and that because we can win a test in
3 days.
that many overs instead of playing the old boring, the Jeff Boycotts,
that's it,
pushing the forward shots, and they got 100 after
blocking.
God knows how many overs, but
yeah.
So that is probably the what do you call it? The new generation, I suppose, if you want to call it, of cricket.
Yep.
And this is where we're going, and I think I'd hate us to lose Test cricket, though.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I hope that doesn't ever happen.
I think
that will be the end of cricket.
Philly, I think Test cricket is going to regrowth and it's going to become the #1 sport again, mate.
Well, it'll be good. Look, it was interesting to. I just watched. I walked from Adelaide City Centre, where I was staying, out to Karen Rawdon Oval, which is just on the edge of the CBD, and I watched a bit of the Tassie South Australia game, and I saw this young guy for South Australia playing a shield game called, what's his name, Jake Fraser McGurk, and he's playing in the shield game, and I've just talking to Matey Hobart about the shield game and what, the Tassie versus South Australia, and all of a sudden there were 3 for 50 or 60 South Australia, and extra 2 overs later they were 3 for 90, and this young guy's playing in the 4-day shield game, who's been basically not able to get a game with Victoria when he was 17. He's gone there, and he's just actually come out and got 37 off about 20 balls. And I said, wow, who's this bloke playing shield cricket? And then I saw on the weekend, I missed a bit of it, but I looked at the score and I watched it on Kato. Like you saw him, he came out and scored, 125 off 30 balls.
That's unbelievable.
Oh, Viv Richards couldn't do that. So what's happening with our cricket?
Well, exactly. So
That was incredible.
So what's that mean? Our wickets are getting more predictable because they a lot of these wickets, as I said, they're brought in a lot, dropping wickets and this sort of dropping pitches. And if you go back to yesteryear, mate, when you had your cricketers and your West Indians and your Australians and all that, it used to be that, like the whacker, as we've spoken about this before, Phil, the whacker was speed. Brisbane was seam and movement and everything else. The MCG would be dead or, sometimes running around the ground, the ball wouldn't even get up to the height of the knee pads. Hobart was boring and all this sort of thing. Is this getting back to the fact that the wickets now are made for what? For batsmen? Or what are they made for now? And that's another thing too. Are we, what do you reckon about that?
Karen, I just had a look at the Adelaide Oval and went up and had a squiz around just from the city, and fantastic. I'd never been there, and I walked up and had a look at the facilities and how they were training and the practice nets, and then the Karen Rolton's so close. It's almost part of South Australia's high performance cricket. But yes, they'll drop in wickets. Yes, it was a very short ground, and I think players like that, they say, well, if I can get 30 or 40 balls in my area, I'm not going to be 25 not out. I'm going to be 100. That's just.
Yeah.
They're thinking differently, and they're thinking, well, if I can't play Test cricket or Shield cricket, maybe there's an opportunity for me to be a white ball player, and I can earn. I'm sure the players are thinking about that. Wow.
Yeah. This McGurk you're talking about, McGurk, there was a guy that played for Victoria. It was probably his father, is it? Wasn't there a McGurk that played going way back? In Victoria?
Look, there might have been, mate, but...
he sounds like a pickled cucumber. McGirt.
But this guy scored faster than... who's the guy for South Africa that made all the runs, bloody... he's broken records that nobody could break. So, look, it's just the boundaries are being...
Why is he not... Why is he not there, Philly?
Yeah, well, he's come from nowhere. Like, in 2 years in Victoria, he hadn't made a 50. No. So something's dramatically changed in his mindset or his... and I don't know to what degree, but that is incredible to come and see 125. Like, on his strike rate, if he had faced another, I looked statistically at it, if he had faced another 25 balls, he could have made, on his per ball score, he could have had 200, which people would have said, this is, you wouldn't believe it.
Oh. No. Where are you off to tonight, mate? You off to a pub?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm going to the Park Hotel. It's got a bit of a lean in there.
Bloody Park Hotel.
Tea Tree Swamp in Invermay.
Whereabouts are you?
Launceston.
Lonnie.
The Park Hotel, yeah.
Phil,
it's on a bit of a lane. It's in the swamp here in Invermay, which has got they used to call it the Tilton Hilton.
The Tilton
Hilton. Right. Hey, mate, I've got a final question from me for you. Earlier today, we went to the Cascade Brewery.
Oh, here we go.
Cascade or Bogues?
What's the call there, Philly? I'm with you.
Well, if you look at Cascade and you look at a fine thoroughbred, it probably consumes the Bogues, and then underneath it, when it's sort of a waste product, it comes out as Cascade. So that's what we're
you're a champion, mate. You haven't lost your sense of humour.
Well said.
Philly K, we've got to move on, mate.
You with that one.
Nah, you done well, Phil.
Awesome to have you phone in, mate. We've got to have you more often as the cricket rolls on.
And yes, I don't know about your double glazed windows, mate, but I'll come up and have a beer with you at any rate.
There you go.
I'll have to look you up and have a beer with you.
You've said
Glenn said it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. Done deal. Free accommodation is there, mate.
And the done deal's not running tomorrow on the Everest either. I like that name, done deal, but it will be a done deal, mate.
All right, Philly. Thanks for bringing in, mate. Really appreciate it.
Be safe, mate. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See you, buddy. Bye. Oh, he's gone. Philly, Kingston, North. Oh, not Launceston, not North Launceston.
Well, he was a southern guy, and he's lived up there for quite a long time. Very knowledgeable.
I've got to tell you guys, we are now on Facebook, so we're...
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I'm sorry.
like
I put
that.
updates saying that it was only YouTube, and now it's streaming live to Facebook. I don't know what's going on right now. But it's happening.
Who cares?
It's all
Looks
good.
like she gets to keep a job, the producer.
Yeah, well,
Isn't that a relief for
guys,
everyone?
if I wasn't here, Rob, nothing would be
Anyway,
happening.
Jeff,
How
you're
can we
running
say
the show.
Yeah,
here. What's going on? What
guys,
are you doing?
decorum. I just want, well,
Decorum.
well,
Ooh, that's a flashy word.
while,
Where'd that come
while
from?
Fettuccine's here, I just wanted to say we are predominantly AFL, Clenny. Yeah, you like it a
Sorry,
bit?
I thought I was. You know,
It's coming up all right. Look at it.
Remember Greg Chappell?
We got like
No, remember Greg
full
Chappell used to
beard,
sit at
half
first sleep?
beard,
Look,
and no beard.
It's coming up
I
all
just
right.
go like that, didn't he?
I'd look great with a beard, by the way.
Well,
you would.
You will. Oh, well, mate,
Not yet to get a permit to have a beard.
Permit.
I could have one by
But guys,
tomorrow, but
seriously, I just wanted
I
to
need a
say
permit to have a Dubliner.
we watched the AFL Grand Final, and it was I don't know. Everyone's
I did as well, too.
Everyone's talking it up, saying it was
Yes.
a great match, and I thought it was quite boring myself. But anyway,
Yep.
Collingwood deserved to win. They were.
Look, I had to choke on my
90 to
on
86.
my drink, mate.
Look,
But
I
I said to
was
my brother, I
covered
said
more
they did
lines.
deserve to win. They kicked. Well, they didn't kick 18 behinds, but
18
they had.
behinds to 8 behinds.
But the end score was 18 behinds. There was a few rushed, but they had their chance. Collingwood should have won, yes, earlier, and they should have won by 4 or 5 goals.
Yep.
But I tell you what I did want to say while
Disappointed with Brisbane.
Fettuccine was
for
here,
Brisbane.
we had the Panthers play Brisbane as well. They were in both grand finals. And unfortunately,
Great game.
I went to bed at half time.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Because I had to go up early in the morning, and it was a horror show for me because I reckoned that was dead on,
God, I love our.
dead on.
I haven't got one for you.
Oh, cut it
I
out.
have one in
Focus.
Rob,
Sorry,
Rob.
mate, sorry,
I
sorry.
think that game was
You
dead
can have
on,
Lee-
as
Leah's
good,
last and second. Sorry.
as good or better
There's a
than
party
a
going
State
on
of
in
Origin.
It was.
That was an absolute.
Look,
Ripper of a game.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know who. I know who Rob goes for in rugby league, and
Bulldogs.
I know who I go for, and I know
Canterbury.
who you go for. I go for the
North.
Sharks. I go
Yep.
for
Eels.
and you go for the Eels. But we're all different. But I have got it. Look, I have always said I've got a soft spot for. Not so much the Broncos, but a lot of the Broncos were. I do follow. I know Rob's going to hate me when I say this, but because I'm a. Oh, thanks very much for that. It's just that cordial there.
That's yours, mate.
You guys want one?
I've lost all concentration. But the thing is that you know, with the rugby and that at the moment, I've lost all concentration.
Yeah, well,
Rugby
come
league,
on,
yep.
come on, we're going to be quick because
Yeah.
we've got Razor coming on to talk about
Well,
football as
So
well.
basically, you were saying
No, the Broncos. Okay, the
Broncos.
Broncos
You've
because
got a thing
I
for
go
them.
for the state of
Don't know
origin.
why.
I go for Queensland. No, I do. My brother, he's all New South Wales.
Yep.
Hates me when I say it, but I have had a soft spot because there's so many great players that play for Queensland. Queensland are a different bunch when they represent their state.
Yes.
I think they're above New South Wales.
Yep.
I'm sorry, New South Wales.
only geographically.
No, when they represent
hearing what
that
you're
Guernsey,
I'm
when they
hearing
put
what
it
you're
on,
saying.
no, I'll give them credit where it's due. They play 110 minutes.
Yep.
But I have never seen a better game. To your question,
Hey,
which
Soph.
I'm going to concentrate. But that they had won that game. The Broncos had won that game. 10 minutes to go. Those young fellas, they were high fiving, mate. They had played out of their skin to get to that position.
Yep.
But the Panthers with Cleary and all these guys, and then they had who was the guy that went off? Rob, the guy with the long New Zealand.
Luau.
Luau, he went off, and they brought the other fella on, and he straightened him up. And Cleary, you can't beat champions.
No.
And what he did,
He stepped up.
He stepped up.
He did.
Knew he had to.
And they did some fantastic things.
I just-
One of the best
And
games I've ever
I
seen.
saw
ever,
an interview
ever.
with him
Ever.
after. Actually, I saw a number of interviews that
Thanks for
were
that cordial
some
too.
more amusing than others. But one of them was he basically said the first, because that's their fourth grand final in a row, but third that they've won. And he said, I
three on the
learnt
trot, though.
from where we went on the first grand final, where they lost it.
Yeah.
And he goes, I learnt from where I was what I had
So
to do.
they could be 4-0, couldn't they?
They could be four. Yeah.
But there is a thing in sport. You know,
I feel bad I'm not wearing a beanie because all you guys are wearing a beanie.
Oh, no,
isn't it funny in sport? You know,
Summer,
when
mate.
you know
Summer's
when you,
around the
you
corner,
know when
you
you
don't
say
need
you think you've won the game, and you got to then you know there's only 5 minutes to go,
That looks
and
horrible.
the game's close.
Yeah.
It's never over, right? It just proved by the way that they wouldn't lay down Parramatta. They went for 3 in a row. They believed they were going to still win,
Yep.
and they did. I reckon it was the
Do you
most
reckon even
incredible
Penrith
game.
or Parramatta? Where are we going?
Did I say the Panthers? Did I say Penrith?
You just said Parramatta, but luckily we got that
See,
one.
God,
So,
God
but-
love it. I
and
love the game.
It
you
was
know,
sort of jumping back to your original question.
Penrith.
As a
Sorry?
loyal
Panthers.
New South Wales person that lives in Queensland, nothing feels like state of origin. In many cases, I feel crap after it because New South Wales generally
Well, they haven't won
aren't.
for quite a while, have they?
Well,
What do you
we've
put
won a
that
couple
down
of
to then,
okay.
mate? Come on, we've spoken about
Well,
cricket. Why is that?
You get annoyed about hearing about Queensland's their 8 in a row, and it's like, well,
But
if you want to
why?
live in the past,
If
I
you're
mean,
out there, guys, watching and you want to talk about the state of
I'm sure that
origin, or-
there are some Queensland people that
give us a call.
Well,
have opinions.
I'm-
I don't like
yeah.
them, but they have opinions.
Well, because you live in a state, and it's the same thing. If
I'm in that state of confusion.
It's the same.
still.
It's the same with the Tasmanian government. If they ever get a bloody Tasmanian team in and they stop crapping on, just get it in and stop mucking around. But it's the same thing. What you do is you back your state in, and you're a New South Wales boy. Of course, you're going to go for New South Wales. The thing is with Queensland is they just don't know when. You know, I mean, I've seen better New South Wales sides,
Yeah.
and they go out, and Rich doesn't go.
And he goes, I've done a fair bit for him as well, but you know, he goes at the end of the day, he goes, you know, it's that. He also made that comment that he goes, they asked about, did
Hey,
you
Billy.
think did they think he'd come back? And he goes, well, most of the time Queensland fades out towards the end anyway.
Yeah. Hey guys,
Direct sledge.
I just want to let you know, Billy Gardner's just joined us on Facebook, and he's an absolute legend of 10-pin bowling. I grew up around the same sort of time with Billy Gardner,
Yep.
and watching him bowl was just absolutely amazing. Billy, so thanks for joining us, mate. You are.
Zach
good-
Piper and Eric Rolls out are watching as well.
Who is?
Oh, good to
Zach
see you,
Piper
Bill.
and Eric
So,
Gazelle.
Oh, Eric is there. Hey, Eric.
And
he's
Eric?
another top bowler,
And
mate.
Thanks very
well,
much,
guys,
you guys,
I
you 10-pin
I
bowlers.
bowled a couple of solid 100s the other day,
You are a champion of bowls.
and it's not always about high scores; it's about consistent scores. I just want to point that out. I think people are missing the point.
and I'll be brutally
No,
honest.
it's true.
The gutter is really good for me. Okay.
No, it's
Well,
not.
guys-
It's not more pins. It's average. Average score.
Because we're sort of running a little bit over time here at the moment, I
Oh,
would
God,
like to
no.
throw Razor Ray
Oh, we
into the
practiced
driver's
this.
seat. Is that all right?
This
Well,
is just
you can
like
sit right
Bathurst.
here,
Hang
and
on.
I'll
Hang on. This is like Bathurst, right?
Right,
We're
we're coming
gonna-
into the pits.
We're tagging?
We're going to do a
Are
driver
you the
change.
engineer?
Hey?
Who's the engineer? Right. Remember, disconnect. Just don't.
Hang on a minute.
Listen.
Probably squeeze in.
I'll do it.
If you wanted to all squeeze in.
Oh, geez, it'd be tight.
Yeah, be right.
No, he's
Well,
out.
I
He's
actually-
out.
No, I'm out. I'm out. Razor Ray's in.
No, Razor
All right,
can come
Ray,
into the
hang
middle.
on, hang on.
Coming in.
All right, Razor, come on in. I want you to stop on the stop sign. Come here, come in. A little bit further. You're in. Rob, seatbelt off you go.
That's a driver.
Razor,
Got the high
hop
chair
in,
there, Razor.
clean the windscreen, and she's in.
Do you want to come in the middle?
Yeah,
go
go
in
in.
the middle.
Be the
In
rose
the middle.
between
Come
the
on.
thorns.
You've got the forward, huh?
Guys,
You've got the high chair.
long-time stalker. She's in. Razor Ray, thank you for joining us live on the Frothy. You've been watching for a long time.
God, she's tall, hey?
Guys, I just want to introduce you to this lady. Razor,
She's really tall,
Ray,
Right.
you're right.
Yeah, I'm on the spin.
Are you going to go down?
Not
a bit or
anymore.
You want to go down?
I thought you were one of those.
Hey! There you go.
I thought you were one of those silver
Do
ferns.
I
or
want
whatever
to
they're
go
called.
down? Wow.
I thought it was a man fern, but you're a silver
Well,
fern.
she is a
There you
silver
go.
fern.
Yeah, she is a silver
Guys-
She is a silver fern.
Guys, I just wanted to let you know, Razor Ray, absolute champion. We met her on a cruise a few years ago in going to New Zealand, and she worked for V8 Supercars at the time, and has been a legend getting us into certain races and passes. So thank you for that. We really
Thank you,
appreciate
Simmons
it.
Plains.
Now, and Razor left V8 Supercars, and she went to work for the FIFA World Cup, the Women's World Cup, what we just had, the soccer,
How great was
the
that?
World Game, the football.
The football, yes.
And tonight you're going to have a bit of a chat with us because I said to you today, you've come down for a work do and you're staying with us for a couple of days here in Hobart, and it's great to see you guys both.
It is.
And I said to you, so your job at FIFA, did you get to meet the players? Did you get to do this? Did you get to do that? And you went into depth with me before about how you guys are the unknown of the job and of the sport and the things that you do organising all the events, because that's what you are, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You're an event organiser.
You don't organise, it doesn't work. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen.
Well,
That's it.
you blew me away with some of the stories that you said, the amount of flights that you had, the amount of people that worked on the FIFA World Cup. Well, let's just start off. How many flights did you have roughly?
Well, over the period of the tournament, so it was a 4-week tournament, I probably flew 35 flights over a 4-week period, all around Australia.
Yep.
But yeah, over the period of the contract, countless, I don't know. Just,
So you must know the best restaurants around the whole of Australia.
I do.
You-
Well, I feel like I do. My favourite restaurant in Australia is in Adelaide.
Oh, here we go. Here we go, Adelaide.
This is a food show.
I like this. Hey, I don't mind. I don't
Please
mind at
visit
Good tag.
I don't
Peel
mind at
Street,
all.
on Peel Street, the best.
There we go. And
Peel Street, on Peel Street.
all. Juanita. Say hello to Juanita.
Hi, Juanita.
Come on, the All Blacks. Yeah.
No, so much travel. I think when you start speaking to people who don't understand kind of what it takes to organise these events that are just showcased on TV,
Yep.
it's quite enlightening for those who are hearing
Absolutely.
and those who are sharing. Like for myself, like it blows me away that people don't actually understand kind of what I do sometimes, but it's just all that bit that goes on behind the scenes.
Can you shed a little bit of light on what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I specialise in accreditation and access management, which basically involves anyone who doesn't purchase a ticket to get inside the stadium or the event. They need an accreditation pass to get in. So that involves all the players, all the athletes, all the workers, security, all the contractors, VIPs, media, broadcasters.
VIPs.
that's us.
VIPs or media?
I
I'm
don't
not sure.
know. Well, I don't know.
VIP media.
I don't know. I think we fall out of both of those classes. But anyway.
Freeloaders.
Freeloaders.
Freeloader, that's a good one. I like that. Freeloading.
Freeloaders.
So just on that, I know you got involved with the V8 supercar drivers. You had to help them out with passes and tickets and accreditation and stuff.
Yeah.
So with the World Cup, did you do anything with the players there and do stuff with them, or
So
all families?
not specifically with the players. So when it comes to FIFA, I mean, every event has a contracted agreement as to who gets what in terms of access to an event. So with supercars, every team gets an amount of series passes, which means this pass will get you access into every single event around the country or around the series.
Thank you very much.
Without, you didn't get one.
No, but I got some.
You got some tickets.
Got
but
Bathurst.
did not get a series pass.
Hey Renee, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Renee, how you going?
So yeah,
See you soon.
If you don't have a ticket, you basically need an accreditation pass, and that's where I fall into the piece. So for FIFA, there was a contracted amount that each team was allowed, which included players, coaching staff, management, and friends and family.
Yep.
And I think that was around about 70 per team. They were transferable, so if someone, like a physio, for example, came in for the first 3 weeks and then someone else was coming in for the last 2, they could transfer that accreditation between multiple people, but ultimately there was only X number that were allowed in per team. So yeah, not only do I manage that piece of it and ensuring that the correct number of people get accredited, but I also manage all the access routes around people getting into the stadium. So where is their entry point and what are their pathways inside the stadium to get to all of the areas that they need to go to. and ensuring that different client groups don't cross over with each other. So, for instance, media can't cross with VIPs. Media can't cross with players.
Oh, wow.
This is what the local. This is what most.
Yeah.
Exactly,
the
Glenn.
humanoids like us,
Wouldn't know.
We wouldn't know because all we're worried about is going,
Yes.
Yeah.
watch the game. We're not worrying about ticketers or how we get there.
No.
We just want to watch the game. But this is one of the biggest insights, and it's happened on the Frothy because I have never seen a show where we ever hear. Tell me a sports show where we ever hear about
The back door.
of what it takes to, as you've said, Rosa, to what it takes to actually put the whole thing together. And if you haven't got that, you haven't got a show.
Yeah.
So that's it.
I think it's fantastic. Guys, if you're just joining us, this is Razor Ray, a good mate of ours. She's been involved in V8 Supercars.
Raven it is.
Well, Raven.
But we call her Razor Ray, and there is a reason for that.
She's been involved in Supercars, V8
Lovely
Supercars
girl.
now, and she's just done a work with FIFA World Cup, the Women's World Cup here in Australia. And Glennie, just what we're talking about, when you go and buy a ticket to one of these events and you pay $150 or whatever it is for a ticket, and you go, oh my God, that's so dear. Ray will give you a bit of an insight why it's so dear.
Why?
How many people were working in the background of the FIFA World Cup?
Well,
Roughly.
you and I had this conversation this morning because I wanted to gauge an understanding of what the people who don't know, what do you think? Do you know what I mean? So I know you know now, but you don't know.
Well, have a guess.
So
have a guess. How many people do you think
How
worked in the
many
background?
staff do you think were involved in the Women's World Cup?
with that whole World Cup?
For Australia, or even within Australia,
Well,
and
it
New
was
Zealand.
Australia and New Zealand competition.
So we went over to
32, Digby Morrell, North Melbourne. How many do you reckon? Quick.
Probably
28.
800.
Well, that's better than what I said. I said 375, I think I said.
Yeah, something like that. So
Thousand, is it?
So we had 1,200 staff members.
Do I get a
400?
That was
Hang on.
the local organising committee.
Yep.
So those people were based across both New Zealand and Australia, and then on top of that, there was a contingent of staff that came in from FIFA themselves, who were based in Zurich, Switzerland.
Yep.
Do you want to have a guess at how many of those people came over to help out?
Don't
not
listen.
listening.
Don't listen to him. Do not listen to him.
He's just he's no good.
7. He's just random numbers.
How many come over?
12.
36.
Come on, spit
Well,
one
okay,
out. Spit one out.
45.
200, 300.
Oh, Jesus, you're doing well.
200 or 300.
Yeah, so there was just over 400 people that came out.
400, did I say 400?
Nearly. You nearly got
But
there.
in saying that, Glennie, so they have to pay for these people to come over. They've got to pay for their flights, their accommodation, their food.
I'm only guessing, but I can't fathom. I'm actually fathoming now what we're saying, but yeah, okay, I'm guessing really what we're saying, but no one would have a clue. Would
No.
they?
No.
No one. So let's
And
be
I
honest.
do, Razor. I do look at the ticket prices for some of these events, and you think, oh my God, there's no one in the world I would pay the money for that. And then you know, talking to you, and find out, wow, how much is this actually costing to get this event up and running? It's massive, absolutely.
There's a lot of negativity in you know, how you get to the football. Have we got the right seat? We here, we there. Why can't members get? You know, why can't? Because we start to talk members. This is in sport, in footballs and crickets and all this sort of thing. Because we're a member, we deserve. We should need that. But when it's games like, if it's a Melbourne versus, I don't know, say a Hawthorn game, but it's a Melbourne game, their members get the rights to the seats, don't they?
Yeah.
How does that work then? Like, that wouldn't happen.
Well, it
I know what you're doing in FIFA and all
It's
that,
a one-off.
or FIFA, or whatever you
Yeah.
want to pronounce it. But in a lot of sporting events, when you've got members, that must be hard too, because then you've got to also work out your members have got that area, but your general public are there.
But
and
this
then
would
you've got
be
your
pretty
others.
much all general public.
So
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
this is all general public what
So,
you're doing, but
yeah.
so
For
it gets tough.
For a World Cup event, because I've not only been involved in football, but other World Cups as
Yeah.
well.
Well, could
Normally-
I just stop you for 2 seconds? Because you've also done Commonwealth Games and Olympic
Yes, you
Games.
have.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that
Not
right?
Olympics.
Not Olympic, but you've done Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth.
Maybe the Brisbane one I might tick the Olympic box, but
Oh,
no.
hello.
I have
Anyway,
done,
sorry, I interrupted you there.
No, so yeah, I've done 2 Commonwealth Games, a Rugby World Cup, in England.
Who won that, by the way?
2015.
Wow.
It was the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Who was it?
The All Blacks.
The All Blacks won.
Turn it
right,
up.
see,
Turn it
Yeah, a couple of
Hi, Scott Warren. Thanks for joining us.
netball World Cups. I've done a
Have you
World
really? You've done
Masters
netball?
games.
Really? Is that right?
Yeah.
You did all
Netball
that
as
as
well.
well.
The
So
husband's done a netball World
I've
Cup
done
as
the
well.
World Cup.
Man, I love netball.
So your Māori skills,
Absolutely.
yeah, you two guys.
To be honest and to be frank, like in terms of being an event manager, it doesn't matter what the sport is. Your area that you specialise in terms of a professional, it doesn't change
No.
from sport to sport.
Yeah.
It's the same operation, it's the
Yeah.
same administration, it's just a different court
Yeah.
or field or
Yeah.
whatever it is. So, it's very transient in terms of going across multiple events.
It helps, yeah.
Interacting with the players is done with like a middleman, so the players don't actually have to come through my department to receive their accreditation or their pass. But at a Commonwealth Games or an Olympics, every individual athlete has to pick up their own accreditation pass. So when they come through an accreditation centre, each individual person, no matter who you are, whether it be Usain Bolt or whoever, Kathy Freeman, whatever, they come
have to.
through individually. They hand over their ID card. We do an ID check, and then we hand over their pass. So I have been quite privileged to meet quite a few famous people in my time. Lucky for me or my employers, I don't get like stage
and you have
fright.
again tonight too.
Yeah.
With us.
Well,
you guys are
well,
you're
I mean,
hot
you-
property.
you
No,
had
haven't got stage fright.
You had had a stage fright tonight. And it could be the bottle of wine and the beers and stuff before, but I mean,
I like to pump up my tyres even though my chair's been going down all night. But,
now, guys, I just want to say Lee Chalmers has joined us as well. Hey, Lee and Craig. Wildcats going to beat Melbourne tonight at the Jungle. So she's at the basketball, I'm gathering, right behind the Melbourne bench.
Yes, and a big shout out to the Jack Jumpers because they demolished the Illawarra Hawks. I can't remember what the score was, something like 103-70.
Yeah, it was
103-70. That's a pretty big win. So well done to them. They're flying.
Yeah, well done, Jack Jumpers.
So-
With your job, Razor, do you prefer what? Okay, well, what is your
Spit it
favorite?
out, Jeff.
What is
Come
your
on, spit
what
it
is your
out.
favorite job so far? Commonwealth Games, netball, World Cup, V8 supercars, FIFA.
It's like asking to pick
FIFA.
a baby.
Well,
isn't
it's
it?
not
right?
really.
Are
but
you children?
Can-
How do you
can-
pick? Are you children?
Technically, it should be an easy one.
It should be.
Can I answer it for you? One with less pressure.
Well, yeah.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
And which one's
the
that?
one that I had the most fun at was actually my first international sporting organisation that I worked in, which was the Glasgow 2014 Commonwealth Games. Because I had less pressure.
Yeah, see, less pressure.
I went in
We don't want to be
at
pressured.
pretty much the bottom
Life,
of the ladder. I had
We're chilling out tonight.
8-week contract with them, and I ended up managing the aquatics access management and accreditation. So I worked at the swimming venue and the diving venue in Edinburgh.
Yep. It's a bit of
But
a,
because all of the planning had already been done before I arrived, all I had to do was deliver. So we just had an absolute ball in Glasgow.
Yeah, cool.
Absolutely loved it.
I'm really surprised that we didn't meet because Glenn and I actually won a silver medal at that Commonwealth Games in badminton. In the pairs. The mixed pairs. It was mixed pairs. Mixed pairs. And
I think I've done a shoulder just
silver medal.
Nice.
No. This is before we met you guys.
No,
Silver
that's
medal.
not-
Yeah.
Like, I was too busy
No,
watching my paint
that's
dry.
true. It is all true.
Razor.
Watching the grass grow.
Serious question, and I'll throw this out to you as well, Fettuccine. You guys are recently married. Congratulations.
Yes, and and we would have loved to be
No,
on your group. But,
Yeah,
but hello,
But
I
you
some of
guys-
us have to work.
You guys spend a lot of time on the road and a lot of time, as you said, in aeroplanes. And I know you're based on the Gold Coast, but you spend so much time in Sydney.
Out of the Gold Coast.
How does that work with you guys? Is it hard to be away from home so much? so early. And I don't answer this as
Could you
too.
live with me 24/7?
No, I couldn't.
Can I answer that?
That is the
Can I
answer.
help you, Rowan?
You can help me. You
Right.
can have a. Have
We
a
went
shot.
away up the coast when he was
opened
actually
the
when he was
Pandora's
actually
box, Rob.
You can't talk
recruited
about C249.
by the Crow, I was told I had to go to bed at 7 o'clock. Now that's like telling now, if you was we're a Māori, I'm a Māori now. If we're in New
You say
Zealand,
Māori.
Māori, yeah,
Well
yeah,
done,
yeah,
Glenn.
yeah, well done. I don't forget.
Well
I don't
done.
forget. If you're telling me to an old man, I'm talking to your father now.
Old
I'm
man.
your father now.
Yeah. Which you could do.
Now, old man, go to bed at 7:30 because I need to go to sleep. What are you going to say? How would you say that in your language? Is there a
English.
no? I mean, Māori. No. Is there a way in the Māori in the native tongue? How would you say go to buggery or what would you
Maori,
say? Because
Māori,
I can't
Māori.
tell you what I told him.
Say Māori.
Rob would remember it, and I said there won't be any chance of that happening. I can't remember exactly how.
Oh, come on, you fellas.
Well,
turn it
look.
up.
Okay, yes, I'm a Kiwi, but I am actually not Māori.
No, hear this.
I have no Māori blood in me. I respect.
okay.
I respect the
Hang on.
culture.
Can we just because
Well, I
most
thought
people in
you
Australia
did.
think
Did I
it's
see?
Maori is how we pronounce it. in
I say
Australia.
Maori.
But the actual
did, and you
real way of
corrected
saying
me.
it is
Māori.
I say Māori.
Maori.
Yeah.
Maori.
Māori.
Roll the Maori.
Māori.
So,
Māori.
so we've all been wrong.
For you New
most of
Zealanders
life,
out there.
I say most. I don't know. I'm Australian. I don't. But I always thought it was Maori.
Maori.
Well, that's what Australian slang is.
Just we are
Maori.
We do that
But
with
the
everything.
actual-
In New Zealand, we would
Down at
call
Canberra.
people that pronounce it that way
I live in
Pākehā.
Cairns.
The white.
Is that right?
The white
You
people
could-
say
no,
Maori.
you- dickhead.
Dickhead. All over it.
I'm
Out of bed. I don't have anyone tell me what to do all the time. I don't need to pick up undies and socks.
Hey.
It's like
Hey.
the best thing ever.
Isn't that normal?
She doesn't know how to use a dishwasher.
No, I know. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, you? I wash
You're
up.
She
right.
thinks dialing 9 is the option.
Hey,
Hey, listen.
hey, mate, you asked me about my my computer skills before and that, but I still like to wash up and dry up.
Yes.
The Bill Gates.
And I still get into trouble,
Glennie,
don't I?
Glennie,
You wash up and
he does it. He
Oh,
does.
there's
He
a-
does it. He does it bad, so he never has to do it again.
Oh, cool.
All kids do that.
and I'll go put away.
Glennie,
Use the dishwasher.
Sorry.
while Ray was away for the FIFA World Cup, she was saying, "Oh, how did you?" I asked her, "How did you do your washing and everything, living out of motels?" And she said, "Oh, I just pressed 9." And someone would come and pick up a washing and go and wash it for her and bring it back. You were living the high life, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean, look.
Lived at the Hyatt.
It's not something that
did the
I
Hyatt.
need.
Lived at the
I
Hyatt.
do know how to wash my own
Well, cool.
clothes.
So it's like
If it's
having
there.
an instant wallet wizard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, hang on, you ready?
Where are we going to get the money for
Wallet
that?
wizard.
What is this, a new sponsor?
How funny was that? That was a little bit of humor.
Oh,
wasn't
that
it?
was.
Did you need
I
a
mean,
loan?
look-
Did you need a loan to do your washing?
Wallet
People,
wizard.
honestly,
I got so much washing. Hang on, I'll find it.
Hang on.
Here's
Hang on.
Wallet Wizard.
Hang on, people. What?
no, friends and family sometimes look at my life and think, oh my God, you get to travel everywhere. You
Yeah.
get to do all of
Yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah.
You're always on a flight. You're always in new cities and blah, blah, blah.
But suitcases,
But
hotels.
you miss,
Yeah, you miss all
your
that.
family.
You miss this big fella.
your husband, as
You do.
crazy as
Yeah.
people might think that is.
I missed the birth of my second child. I
I
still haven't seen
I
it.
didn't.
And that was me.
You can't name number twos.
No, they live in West Australia. You don't know about them. Keep going.
But you
I thought it was
miss.
me when I was sitting on that little chair.
No. You are a little boy. Keep sorry, Razor. Go on. This is dirty. This is sorry.
It's not really.
He's an adult.
I
too,
just miss when I'm away. I miss normality,
Yeah.
and it's great to like
Cooking and
be
getting stuff out of the fridge.
like, oh, I'm here, I'm there, I'm at this event that's on TV, and I'm on at this event that's on TV, and I'm involved with this, and I'm involved with that. But like, try live away from home for 3 months where
Yeah.
you're living out of a suitcase, where
Yeah.
you can't cook
It's
your
not-
own
it wouldn't
meal,
be
where you
easy,
can't
no.
wash your own clothes,
No, that's
where
right.
you
Right.
don't have a car.
You need to go on a loan. Like win a prize.
No,
Don't do
no,
that. Don't do
I don't know
that
if
for
I could
work.
survive.
Razor, you were right. As a rep, I get asked all the time. I get told all the time, "Oh, it must be so great, you know, because you're away and you all your meals and your grog's paid for, and oh, you get to eat all the best restaurants and you get this and you get that." And you know, for the first year or two, yeah, it is.
I'm sorry.
And then
but
after that,
Yeah,
it starts.
when you see this?
It starts getting a bit.
Week or two.
That's the smallest violin in the world.
It starts
playing
getting
a
boring.
sonnet for
Sitting
you.
in a restaurant on your own, having a dinner, doesn't matter how good the
Have
oysters
a
are.
range. Here's my violin.
Listen, will you hang around for a couple more minutes while we finish the show off?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Glennie?
I'll be just checking out for a minute.
Here he goes. Here he goes.
Oh, hello.
Come on.
Rob can
Get
get
here,
in.
Rob. Come on. Let's
And-
finish.
And Raymond, thank you.
We're going to finish the show off here.
Change your hair. Change your hair.
There we go. Come on. Park on the white line.
Yeah, I'm going to take my.
We're going to do a brake bias change here, Glenn.
Gonna do what?
Brake bias change in the pits. Guys,
Gee
just...
whiz, I'm tall.
Hey, listen, you two.
Yes.
Hi.
Listen, thank you so much for coming in. It's been great.
No, thanks
Great
for
insight.
having us.
And
Thanks
I
for
know
having
you
us.
both do the same thing. You're both in events management. I think you met at the Commonwealth Games, didn't you?
We did.
Well, that's what surprised me when she said the Glasgow Commonwealth Games were better. When I said it was obvious, she didn't pick up on how obvious it was.
How good's that? How good's that?
So,
Look,
Oh,
the
that's
thing
gone.
was, at the Glasgow Commonwealth Games, I had no responsibility. Well, I only had the responsibility of one venue or two venues. At the Commonwealth Games in the Gold Coast, I had 17 staff that worked underneath me, and I had 32 venues that I needed to look after. So it was a little bit more stressful, but yes, I did meet my now husband.
Well, there you go.
So
I was busy
yeah.
too.
It's a love
I did
story
stuff.
on the Frothy. How good is this? All right, guys, let's just run this out. So netball last night, there is a Constellation Cup going on between the Silver Ferns,
Yes.
which you were from New Zealand.
Well, I worked a little bit with them.
You've
yes.
done that.
Yep.
50-40 victory last night to the Diamonds, and congratulations to Australia. I do like watching the netball. I really do. They won by 10 points, and they take a 1-0 lead.
They're hot and cold sometimes, though.
Oh, they're more hot than cold, though.
Yeah, okay.
Seriously. I mean,
The dresses
Yeah.
are getting shorter.
I don't mind that.
Oh, no, that's not where I was going.
Don't worry.
I was talking
You got
about
sucked into
sport.
that one.
Speaking
Get it back on track.
speaking of dresses getting shorter, they had some brief power outages last night. With 7 minutes left in the third quarter, power went out.
Really?
Where was this?
This was in where they played last night,
But it didn't
I
matter
don't know.
because the netball was glowing
the John Cain Arena. So that'd be
No.
Victoria.
Yeah, and the
Victoria.
hoops lit up.
You know-
so they could play like.
Yeah.
Who's John Cain?
You're
John
joking.
Cain
yeah.
was an old. He was a former Victorian premier.
Yeah.
Glow in the dark
Bit
netball,
like
that'd be awesome.
what's old mate that just
Dan Andrews.
Yeah, old premier. I think that's
I was in
the
Victoria
old-
last week and he's
I
loved.
think it's Olympic. It's in the Melbourne Park precinct.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
to
yeah.
lose power,
Yep.
you've got some serious issues going on there. But
Yeah,
maybe
not
they just didn't pay the bill.
Okay, guys,
They've
I'm
had numbers
sorry.
issues.
I've just flicked over to YouTube and had a look. Juanita said, "I am Maori,
Māori.
I'm going back in
That'd
January.
be interesting as how you pronounce it, Juanita.
What do you
I'm
think of
going back
Damon's
in January.
new shirt?
Yeah, new shirts are good, and I've got some dart news, and I might as well go there.
Yeah,
Look,
go there.
unfortunately, the last tournament, Damon was knocked out in the first round against Ryan Searle, and I'm hoping he's going to do better because they're all qualified now for the World Grand Prix. No, sorry, Luke Humphreys just won the World Grand Prix, and
Grand Prix.
he's this weekend's Michael van Gerl will begin his defence of the Interwetten German Darts Championships, the top 32 of the European
Interwetten
Tour.
German.
So yeah, Damon plays Jeff Smith or Daryl Pilgrim. So he's having a bad run at the moment. He had plenty of chances to win against Ryan Searle. But,
Is darts like cricket where you can be in form and out of form?
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
very
Like,
much.
and I suppose it's probably mental as well. Like if you think you're not,
yeah.
I was out of form Friday night.
Really, that can be,
sometimes it's
It's
that's
like
probably the
Friday
number of
night
drinks
now.
out.
I'm always out of form.
That's your number of drinks.
that can be the case with any sport, really.
Yeah.
But, okay, yeah.
But
no,
the problem
just-
is, the
We
problem
get
is,
that off
the problem
after
is
the
with
show.
darts, and when we interviewed Damon, it was the same thing. I said to him, so when you're not hitting your doubles, or you're not hitting triples, and things just aren't going your way, how hard is it to get back into the game? And his response was, It is the pits because you just try harder, and the more you try, the harder things get, and
So
the worse
true.
things
Yeah.
go.
So
You're
true.
doing things, and I know. Look, just as a game that we play just for fun. When you're having a bad night and you're not playing well, you think, oh, don't, make sure you follow through, tuck your arm in, don't keep your head still, don't move, do this.
Overthinking.
Yeah, too much. It started just getting up there. So
That was me when I bowled that 100 the other day.
And that'll
to a
be
bit of
tomorrow when we go bowling
Well,
as well.
Yeah, it's
Bring it on.
consistency.
Oh,
You just
I
got
know,
to
suck at everything.
straight down the middle
I'm
of
gonna
the
lose.
see what happens.
don't know if you watched it or not, but I just wanted to say a quick shout out to Oscar Piastri from the Formula One. In his rookie year in Formula One, they're rating him up there with
Hamilton?
Hamilton.
Yeah, wow.
Very similar to his first rookie year when he was racing. So congratulations to him. Don't I'll never forget our old mate here, Mr. Peroni, Alex Peroni, who was on his way to Formula One, but he had a couple of stumbles. So hopefully he still gets there. But he's doing a lot of work over there in Europe racing as well. So congratulations to him. And Glennie, just while you walk in the room,
Working the crowd.
work in the crowd. Tim Zoo takes on Mendoza this Sunday,
He does.
the 15th at 12 o'clock Australian
Yeah,
Eastern
it should be a
Time.
blockbuster,
It
mate.
should be a big match, shouldn't it?
It'll be a blockbuster, and it'll be the guy, the underdog,
Yes.
who's Mendoza, who's actually knocked out 2 in
Yep.
his last fight.
Well, Zoo's 23
23 zip,
undefeated.
undefeated, and if Zoo does win
it's at
this
the Gold
fight,
Coast, guys, on Sunday.
who holds all 4 belts, by the way.
Mendoza
Now that
does.
Charlo, Zoo does. Now that Charlo's actually
Had to
relinquished
have it.
that
Yes.
because he went up.
Different weight
He went
division.
up from super. From
Yep.
not welterweight. I can't think. Super. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But at any rate, so whatever happens out of this, if Zoo beats him, then he gets a look at who's going to be the next fighter. Someone like Crawford.
He's
or
done-
someone
he's
like
done
that's gonna have
extremely
to come
well,
up. He has to come up a weight division to meet Zoo.
Oh, okay.
So
So Zoo stays at the same way. He doesn't change.
yeah, he's at super. Well, I'm not saying welterweight. It's not. It's anyway. It doesn't matter. No, it's super.
So anyone, but what I'm saying is anyone who wants to fight him has to come to his weight. He doesn't have to move.
That's right. He doesn't have to go up.
Yep.
Crawford has to come up into Zoo's weight.
Yep.
Crawford's one of the best pound for pound
he's a
boxers
monster.
of all time.
Yeah.
So
Now, just on that, I just wanted to throw in that there's a bit of controversy that the Zoo camp is a little bit worried about because, and this is a bit of mud throwing here, that the referee who's going to ref the fight
yes,
is the referee who did Jeff Horn, great mate of the
yes,
Frothy,
yes,
and
Absolutely.
Pacquiao.
and
Oh,
Pacquiao.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Battle of Brisbane.
Yeah, and he's saying that we don't want to see the same sort of thing happen, and
No,
obviously that's a
no.
bit of a mudsling towards Jeff
No,
Horn. but-
well, I meant.
They should bring in another ref.
Well,
I think once they pick them,
when
they're
they,
locked
when-
in.
in boxing, you've got your referee,
Look at it, shake.
but then when you do your card, there's 4 to 5 judges. Now, when they say boxing's rigged, it's only rigged if the judges can't see who wins the fight. It's like any sport. So if you're going to be fair, I mean, when they start saying it's 118 to 116 in favour of Jeff Payne over Glenn Cleaver,
Which would probably happen.
Oh, well, it does. It does.
every
go,
day of the
go and
week,
move,
every
move
day of the week.
What do you-
Take a stool.
You know?
down.
Well, we're about to shut up. We're
Yeah,
about
we
to
are.
go.
So-
Take a stool around, and because all I can see is your hand. In the
We can all
camera.
squeeze in and
Just,
while we
just come in
should
and
we,
have a chat.
do we sing the end song? Is there a song we can all
Friday, Frothy.
Roll over a bit more.
Here we go, jump in.
Oh, I can't go any further.
Yeah, you're good.
Hi everyone.
Look, we can fit 4 in. It's good.
So we're all in the frothy, but now we're really squeezing. Come in,
Oh,
Leah.
Liz coming as
Here
well.
comes our
Bloody hell.
Oh,
mascot.
sorry, we're all
Bloody hell.
Here she
yes.
comes.
we're all
There she
here.
is. We're all in
Hi
now.
everyone.
It's a long time
Not
since we've done the
comfortable.
family thing. There we
I
go, Leah.
can't do anything.
You
from
go,
here.
get in
I've gotta
behind
keep
there.
it under control.
Here we are.
So,
Under the control.
if Zoo wants to fight Charlo, and Charlo now is relinquished. He got absolutely smashed in his last fight, Charlo. So he's going to have to come back, and that's who Zoo wants to fight. And that could be on the, where you guys, that could be on the Gold Coast.
Well, it is on the Gold
On the
Coast.
GC.
Well, it is on the
That's
Gold
fine.
Coast. So
All the big events.
Mendoza's fight's on the Gold Coast. So if I was there, got great guests. So this is special.
Sorry, who was this?
There's a lot of feedback going on.
This is your next door neighbour.
Hi, next door neighbour.
Thanks.
Where's
thanks,
Hound?
Thanks,
Hound dog.
Thanks for joining us. Hope you've enjoyed the show.
How come that dog's not barking?
Well, I have been enjoying it. Yes, I think it's very entertaining.
Well, there's a lot of feedback.
I think
isn't
you
there?
talk.
Yeah, no, that's good. So about Cleve's tips. So tell us about Cleve's tips over the weekend. The Everest. We've got Melbourne Cup coming up. No. Just quickly. Quickly. The word there, Glenn, was quickly. Tell us about
Quickly.
Juanita would love the Cleve's tips
Okay,
to come back
quickly.
up.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's my big tip.
Do not put your houses on this.
Okay.
Whatever you do.
It could be grey.
Could be.
Oh, it's
It
always
could be.
grey.
What, the weather, or are we talking?
always
The
grey.
horse
or
could be
what?
grey.
Always grey. Hey guys, just quickly.
The horse could be
Right.
Just quickly.
brown.
Juanita, once again, great show, guys. Love seeing everyone. Juanita,
Thanks, Juanita.
you're a champion.
Yeah, and
Always good chat.
Juanita Brockman to the West Coast. We want something for him. And I'm just going to mention that from Hawthorn Football Club, presented by Glenn Cleaver.
Well, guys,
Thanks, mate.
that's all we've got for tonight. That's all we've got for tonight. I've had a few beers and I apologise. I don't apologise.
No, we don't apologise.
Went to the Cascade Brewery earlier today.
We've had a
Hi
great
everyone
night.
at Cascade and
Yeah.
Carlton United.
Thanks for your squid and your chicken and your onion rings.
And your beer.
Your canned beer.
And
Yes.
Jeff, can I just
Alright,
say,
not
just
blokes.
before we go, you and Al ventured out to North Hobart Football Ground.
Yes, James Wiggins.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Congratulations.
James,
Saw that.
sorry, mate, I had a...
Yeah, sorry, we should have announced
I
that.
had
Should have
to go up the
Matty
East
Khan,
Coast.
thanks for joining us,
Couldn't be
mate.
there. How are you, Matt? Hope your leg's going okay, mate. You're like me. We're both in the
Who are you talking about?
Metcalf.
We were just talking about James Wiggins.
Well, you just jumped to Metcalf.
You just tried to.
Well done, James.
Okay,
The night-
well
the-
done,
the
Matt,
day was
and
amazing.
James, well done, and well done to
Oh, Glennie,
Vavola. How many
Glennie.
did Vavola kick?
Oh, he kicked 4 in the first quarter. I think.
And
he
you's left at
9 or
half time.
something.
What?
No, we
We
stayed.
didn't
We
leave at
stayed.
half-time.
We were there the whole time.
Oh, that,
But I tell you
were.
what,
I wasn't.
hey,
We stayed to the end.
I tell you
mate.
what, and James, if you're watching this, this is
We
serious.
did
But well
stay
done,
there.
James. No,
I
am
have,
serious.
I have offered
Yeah.
for if this goes ahead against next year, for you and I to actually call a game over the
Yeah, that'd
loudspeaker.
be. I reckon that'd be awesome.
Sensational.
It'd be amazing.
Be really good because we're good.
I'd pay for that.
I'm serious. I'm
buy a
I
serious.
reckon you would be good.
I am
You'd be
serious.
great at it.
I have asked the question, and hopefully we can do it because that'd be so much fun.
Oh, Fev though, isn't he? I mean, Fev,
He was
you,
amazing.
Thanks,
you
guys.
showed
Love
me.
your work.
You showed me
what?
that
He did- he
a
did-
skibbit.
He did the buddy.
They sent through a skibbit to me, and
He
that,
did-
I could not believe that.
Buddy Franklin.
Yeah,
He shit allowed Buddy Franklin on last weekend because he was taking so many kicks to goal.
Well, he
was
would.
passing them off to
But
someone
Glennie-
else.
Glennie
he
would.
could have annihilated
was
them.
Absolutely.
Lance Franklin, or what's his buddy?
He was
Yeah,
he was
Buddy
kicking,
Lance
he was
Franklin.
kicking these from
Right, go with your real
45,
name.
45
Why does
metres
everyone
out
have fake
on the
names
boundary.
in AFL?
Why? What's his
Huh?
full name? I don't even know
Oh,
what his full name
Lance
is.
he was
Franklin.
one of the greatest
Go
kicks
by
of all
that.
time,
I
Jeff.
didn't know that.
And I mean, we all know the trials and
Of course,
tribulations of
Lance.
Yeah.
Vavola, but what an
Lance-
absolute
Lance
champion.
sounds like
Full
something you
back.
do to
Would have been a
All
champion.
right. Anyway, look, thanks very much for our guests tonight.
Ladies and
Ray
gentlemen,
and
please thank
Rob.
Razor Ray and Robbie Fettuccine Thompson. You
Whee!
guys, absolutely amazing. Thanks for finally coming onto the show live.
Hey, good to be here in Tassie as
I know
always.
YouTube will blow
Yeah.
up tonight. With all we'll get so
yeah,
many
watch it
views.
go.
It'll be
Oh.
extraordinary.
It's
Thank you, Leah, for visiting. And,
once
and
again,
Glennie.
fantastic to
That's
hear
all right.
about the
Producing.
other side of sports and what you guys do and how
we
you get
learn.
involved and how
All
you
we
do it.
do, we present the show, but we learn as we go, and we learnt a lot tonight.
Did you?
No risk.
What would you learn?
There will be a quiz
I learned
later.
a lot
No, not
about-
now, but there will be. Around the fire,
I
there will be a
some of
quiz.
us
learned
learn a
something
little.
about myself every day, and I learned a lot today.
All right, guys.
Good
Tonight.
chat.
Thanks for joining the show tonight. I hope you had a great time. Have a great weekend. This is Razor.
See
This is
everybody.
Rob. This is Glennie, and I'm Jeff. We will see you in
Stay
2
safe.
weeks'
Have a
time.
beer.
Friday,
Friday,
Frothy.
Friday,
What a
Friday.
great show.